Hello, everyone. Harry here to talk about what else? The January 6th indictment, but a very interesting aspect of it involving star witness number 2 or 3, I would say, Mike Pence, the former vice president of the United States. All right, there wasn't all that much new in terms of details in the indictment itself. You may have noticed it was very well crafted to put together a narrative. It very much emphasized the theme of Trump's lying and his knowledge that he was had in fact lost. But in general, all the facts that were marshaled in the 45 pages were things we largely knew about. One exception, more details about Mike Pence, whom we know testified before the grand jury. And there's some pretty rich stuff. And he's going to be called, and he's going to testify. And so let's focus in on paragraph 90 of the indictment. We knew already, of course, in broad strokes anyway, about the really, really bruising words that Trump pounded Pence with on the 6th itself, called him the P word. I made a mistake when I chose you, and did something really odious, which was knowing that Pence wasn't going to play ball with him, served it up to the crowd as if maybe he would. So when it was revealed that Pence wasn't going to, they had maximum ire, which of course expressed itself in terms of hang Mike Pence. All right, but we know a little bit more now, and it's all of a piece, and it's going to make Pence a very good witness. All right, so I'm in paragraph 90 here, but we have them talking mainly in phone calls, sometimes in person in December and January. So on Christmas Day, Pence calls Trump to wish him a Merry Christmas. Trump turns the conversation right away to January 6th and a request that Pence reject the electoral votes. He said, look, I don't have the authority to change the outcome. So the very sort of loggerheads they were at on January 6th, they were already at on Christmas. And then just a few days later, there's conversation. Oh, and Pence here smartly took contemporaneous notes. Everyone who's ever been with Trump and knows what a squirrely guy he is and winds up doing that is glad that he or she has. But Trump tells Pence, falsely lies to Pence on the 29th and says the Justice Department was finding major problems. Infractions was the word he used with the election, when in fact that was totally bogus. And in fact, it led to a showdown with everyone in the DOJ threatening to leave. Okay, now January 1st, so 5 days before the insurrection, Trump calls Pence, and he basically berates him, in the words of the indictment, because Pence doesn't sign on to a lawsuit seeking a judicial decision that he has the authority to reject or return votes. Pence says, look, I'm sorry, there's no constitutional basis. And then this is going to be one of those, 10 points written in closing argument by the prosecutors up there. Trump says, you're too honest. Stop and think about that for a moment and the kind of evidence it's going to be, right? First, he's honest, but what does it say? It says it's basically an admission on Trump's part that Trump is not honest, and in fact that Pence is whatever, disloyal for not lying. So I mean, that as a sort of just kernel of the whole interaction with Pence, indeed the whole case. You're too honest. 3 words that will live in infamy because they reveal Trump's total awareness that Trump is dishonest, and that the whole thing is a lie, which is the central theme, I would say, of the indictment itself. Now we go into things we knew, although some details are added in, and he'll have the contemporaneous notes when he testifies. But Trump again pushes him on the 3rd, 3 days before the melee, to say he's got the absolute right to reject. He's now saying, and Pence says, no, I have no such authority. And it goes on from there with John Eastman, co-conspirator number 2 in the indictment, and all kinds of back and forth with with Pence's staff, his chief of staff, his counsel, and they themselves have already testified, so they'll be able to to bolster all the evidence that Pence will provide. But there's a big meeting on January 4th, and and Pence takes notes again, and he has Trump saying, the bottom line won every state by hundreds of thousands of votes. It's so Trumpian, by the way. It's not like, oh, it was maybe close, we should go to court. He just asserts with zero basis whatsoever. Won every state by hundreds of thousands of votes, and then throws around some patently false claims that, a really good one here is his saying that there were a couple 100,000 more votes in Pennsylvania than there were voters, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And John Eastman, co-conspirators there, trying also to push Pence to do this. And he said, well, Pence says to him, hey, can I do it? Is the proposal a return to the states, what they're trying to have Pence do? Is that defensible? Well, says Eastman, nobody's tested it before. In any event, so he turns to Trump, says, look, even your own guy here is saying I don't have the authority. And Trump responds, I prefer the other suggestion anyway. What is that? That means you will unilaterally just reject the votes. All right. It goes on, and to some of the really bone-chilling details, where he, having been told again and again that Pence doesn't have this power, nevertheless asserts to the crowd that will shortly become a riot that he does. Pence does have it, so it makes Pence the figure that they want to basically crucify when they find out he's not going to do it, and that's just a way of doing maximum pressure. We go through comments that we've heard, but they're tied together with what he told Pence, the things that he says on January 6th. So a lot of those details are new. That's one big reveal of January 6th, and they are very vivid. And, the theme that they strike home again and again is Trump is told he knows from Pence he can't do this, that Pence can't do it. He knows from his lawyers that Pence can't do it. And he's irate because Pence is too honest. That's going to be killer testimony. And I've talked about this before. The Pence is obviously going to be his Pencean way, Pencean, Pence-ish, whatever. And he'll be, it'll be like he'll be in pain and pulling teeth to get the information, etc. That's all great. It just makes it clear that he's telling the truth. He doesn't want to be there. That'll ring home with the jury, with great force, I think. So, and of course, just the fact that he's the sitting vice president, and the unprecedented, the word always with Trump, and historic drama of the vice president taking the stand to testify against the president who chose him. That is going to be big drama. That would be a great, great thing to have cameras in the courtroom for. We'll see if that'll happen. My bet is not. But in any event, we know now much more about Pence than we did before, and it's all very, very damning of Donald Trump. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.